Today on Unpacked.
Butterfly, butterfly.
But that was when you guys were a group.
The way we were so close and we ended up being like a family. People looked at him. He didn't have any signs of anyone that, had cancer. And, it hit me so hard. It's a pain that will never go away, I'm still grieving them even today.
If you don't know the group Threesome, you will know about them today. The surviving member of the group is here to share his story. Let's unpack. Music group Threesome was one of the most popular performance outfits in the early 2000s. They glossed our screens, graced magazine covers, and were the life of the party at celebrity events. However, in the last few years, two of its members, Koyo Bala and Jeff Moyo, passed away, leaving Amstel Maboa as the only surviving member of the trio. This is Amstel's story. Let's unpack. Amstel, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
I feel obviously just so honored, Jorge, you were able to come and talk to us. But take us back, back in time and tell us the year. Jorge, how did you actually meet Jeff and Koyo?
Butterfly, butterfly.
But that was when you guys were a group. How did you actually meet? Like, what was the first time Okopana Jeff and first time Okopana Koyo?
The first person that I met was Koyo. It was in a club in Newville, Club Tando. So, knowing me on a dance floor dancing, and this flamboyant fly guy comes to me and say, "We more VIP," and I was like, "Huh? More VIP," And because of that personality, a vibe, and we clicked. And then the same night, Koyo slept at my apartment. And then from there on...
You guys became best
immediately.
Yes. And what year was this? Because you also had a time where it was the place to be.
It was in 97.
97.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the year after, we met Jeff. The same way, on the dance floor.
On the dance floor.
On the dance floor.
And what did Jeff say to you?
Jeff just loved the way I was dancing and my dress sense. And when I looked at him as well, he was a stylish person. And we clicked. And from there on, the Rubele was formed.
So how and when did you realize, Jorge, actually we can all sing, we have a musical talent? And maybe you can tell us what was everyone doing when you met them?
Okay. Jeff was working at a retail store. Hence his dress sense. He was very stylish. And then Koyo as well was working in a retail store. And now as a student, then so-called Vestec, now, UJ. And because we were young and, in Joburg, free-spirited, and we just wanted to explore, we started going out a lot, wherever we go, because of our bubbly personality, we attracted, beautiful things and beautiful people, And I remember it was in the year 2000, we get crushed at the Tukutuku Awards.
Hey, they were big.
They were big.
Yes.
And what actually happened is, because of, our dance and dress sense, we jumped into stage. Everybody else that time were too, uptight. And media and everybody loved us. And then the following day, we were on the newspaper. The three musketeers, Amstel, Koyo, and Jeff. So on weekly basis, there was a newspaper article about these three butterflies.
Rejaiva somewhere.
And then that's how we attracted media.
But
And
now, where did the name come yet, Butterflies? Was it the media that gave you that name?
No, after we won, the following year, after we get crushed the Dukutuk Awards, we won the Social Butterfly Award.
Oh,
so hence the
And this was at the Feather Awards?
No, at the Dukutuk Awards,
Dukuduku
yes, the
Awards.
Social Butterfly Award. Hence the
Okay.
Rurubele.
Yes.
And then we had a song, the Rurubele, so that is why...
But before the song,
Yes.
I get it now, you guys were still friends and you were
Yes.
going out. When did you formalize to say, actually, guys, let's make a group. Let's make this thing a thing.
Okay, I think everything happened, it was magic. Brenda Fassie. Brenda Fassie, the other day, I was singing in her car and she was like, what? You can sing, you know? And Koya and Jeff, they can dance. You guys, something can come out of you. We went to the studio, we did a song, Sohlala Sizimufi. How?
What was the inspiration of that song?
Because she always said, Imofizam. Imofizam. And then we would sing, hey, Sohlala Sizimufi in her car. And we did a track, Sohlala Sizimufi. She took the song to CCP EMI. The next thing we get a call that
Which is a record label.
Yes. The next thing we get a call that you guys, we want to see you. When you got there, you've got a deal. That's how it happened.
Wow. So it wasn't something that you had initially been planning all along. It almost happened by chance.
Yes, by chance. But all I can say is that we all come from that background of, from our townships where we grew up. We've always been those active, people in the community, like whether it be a dance group or a school choir, we all come from the same background,
And who was it of the three of you that knew Mabr?
It was all of us. We met her at the same time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And you guys became friends? Yes. So now she pushed, a label said, actually come, we're going to give you a deal.
Yes.
What was the formal name of the group when now they were making you?
We had 3 names.
Okay.
Threesome. We had the Rurubele and the Scorpions. But Threesome made sense, because we were always together and we felt like, you know what? It makes sense. Threesome together, inseparable trio. And I mean, it came from the people as well. Then we thought, let's give the people what they want, Threesome. And that's how the name was formed.
So at some point now, you are media darlings. You release the first song. And how was it received?
It was not well received because I believe CCPMI never did justice because they felt these 3 guys, they can market themselves. So we never got like the real marketing deal because everything was like, they're always on the newspaper, they can sell themselves. So business-wise, in terms of music, they never sold us,
Do you
But
remember?
we won a Metro Award.
Yes.
The first album.
Do you remember hearing your song on the radio for the first time?
Oh, yes. Yes.
And where were you?
Screamer. We're on our way going to Rustenburg to visit Jeff's mother. And then we get a call that, yo, Tsela, your song is playing. That was Butterfly. I stopped the car and we screamed. It was a beautiful experience. Yeah, I will never forget.
What was the Metro Award for?
Our Best Style Group.
Best Styled Group.
Yes.
And I mean, you guys are quite stylish. For all the times that I have seen you go out of your way with makeup, with accessories.
We had to make sure.
With everything. In terms of the culture, when we say the culture, what do you think you were bringing to the culture at the time? Because a big part of your role was also regarding your sexuality.
Yes.
So what do you think you brought in terms of your sexuality to the culture? Because it's not like now we're more woke. Back then it was different.
Okay, it was more of we are here and this is who we are. And we're pushing equality, love, and acceptance. And we did that through music. Each and every opportunity that we got, we were selling and pushing the LGBTI community in terms of this is who we are, accept us and love us, and we are here to stay, And unaware we've touched so many people, the youth. I still get that every day, like whenever I would walk somewhere and there will be a young gay boy who will come to me and say, you know what, thank you so much. You guys, you gave us hope and you've actually made things easy for us. Our family, they've accepted us for who we are because you've made it easy for us before we could even speak, because they saw you on television or be a newspaper article and they were like, you know what, these people are existing, because it was like a taboo then, but we were brave enough to say, this is who we are, and this is the only way to make people understand by just being brave and speaking up openly about our sexuality,
And in terms of the support you received, do you feel, Gore, you were able to be that out and proud?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you were already loved for who you were.
Yes, it plays a very important role in one's life. When you get that love from home, I mean, when you go out, you don't care about what the next person says because your energy is only love, because you've accepted yourself, who you are, and your family knows who you are and they love you for who you are. Then the next person is like, hello,
Mangwen. Yes. Okay, so at some point, you guys are out there, you are performing. Did you ever experience a surprise because you were receiving love, but did you ever experience discrimination in certain places, even though you were well-known celebrities and celebrated and loved?
Not at all. What actually happened is some of the promoters were skeptical to book Threesome because of the same reasons. They were thinking that maybe if we get on stage, we'll get booed or something. But funny enough, whenever we were on stage, people were asking for more. They were asking for more because we gave people a performance, We respected our craft, costume, dance, and everything was like professional, and there was no way not to love us.
In today's times, a lot of celebrities have a team behind them. They have a publicist, manager, assistants, stylist, makeup artist, hair person. Did you guys have a team at the time, or were you doing a lot of the things yourself?
We were doing a lot of things ourselves because also we were providing the same service to other personalities, So we knew what we wanted, so it was easy for us. It was like a package, So those things have always been there, but with us it was different because we provide the same service, so we did it for ourselves.
So what are some of the skills? Because maybe somebody's watching and they're like, I had no idea this person does this. What are some of the things that services you're providing for other celebrities, or things that you do? Some of the things Jeff did, some of the things that Koyo did?
Jeff was a stylist. I was a makeup artist. But I don't do it anymore. I don't touch people's faces anymore, unless if I feel like I don't do it like as a business.
Yes.
But if someone really wants me to do their face, like Amstel, please, then I will do it.
And what about Koyo?
Koyo was a stylist as well. He worked closely with Drum Magazine because he was an assistant for Ephraim Mulengwane.
Yes. Because I know that they worked
very close.
Yes. So in that time, you are out there, you are gigging. So many times we hear of music groups where there's bickering and backstabbing and problems. Did you guys ever experience that? Especially when there's more than two people in a relationship, it can be troublesome. Did you guys ever face those challenges?
The way we were so close and we ended up being like a family and would fight, but not for like serious things, like maybe jealous of, I think Koyo's got a new friend, this person is stepping into our, space, things like that. And we'll have a gig maybe the same day and we're not speaking to each other. But immediately when we jump on stage, the communication, you won't even notice. After stage again, we are like, so we had those moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who were some of your biggest supporters from the industry at the time?
Relebogile Mabotja, Brenda Fassie, they've played a very vital role. Like it was like they've prepared us for being on bigger stages and platforms. Like, we'd go with them when they were performing, we'll see them backstage, you know, all the preparations, the rehearsals. So when it was our time, we already knew what to do, you know.
Yes.
The professional side of things, be on time, respect your work, and, you know.
I mean, you mentioning such iconic women, Relebogile Mabotja, Brenda Fassie.
Yes.
What are some of the biggest lessons that you can say the three of you, or even you yourself as an individual, took from Mabr, took from Relebogile Mabotja? What are those biggest gifts that they gave you?
Respect your work, respect your audience, whether it can be 10, you know, audience, give them a full fit show as if there's 10,000 people, you know, because those people came and they respected you for them being at your show. So make it as if there's 10,000 people. Yeah, so always respect your audience.
And I mean, I'm sure they also taught you a lot about work ethic.
Oh, yes, they did. They did. Contracts, very important, you know. Be careful of what you're signing. And, you know, the industry is very tough, you know. And they were tough women. And I'm grateful that I've met them and they've shown and taught me so much that I wanted to know about the industry, you know. I'm smarter today.
Yeah, it's because of that.
Yes.
So at some point, and maybe you can paint a timeline for us, it was in the late 90s where now you guys are a group and you start performing, you have your first album out. What is the next thing that happened for the three of you?
So many things were coming through, like would get like a special booking for cameo roles, you know, and things were just happening, you know, it is the benefits of fame, you know, so things sometimes come like on a silver plate, you know, so those were the benefits. And
what are some of the highlight things that you'd say happened for the three of you? And it doesn't just have to be career-wise, it could also be personal life.
There's so many, hey? There's so many. One that I can think of is when we were invited by the president, you know.
Who was the president at the time?
That time it was President Zuma, yes. We're doing the campaigns for, you know, the party. And then because we've got these terminologies that we use, like Vroshka, and he jumped on stage with us like, yes, this party is Vroshka. So those were the highlights, and everybody else was like talking about Vroshka. So I think I'll take that as one of the highlights, President being with us on stage, and like, you know, I want that threesome here with me.
What were some of the low, difficult moments as a group when people saw you out there being high up there, but there was something maybe not so great happening behind the scenes?
We had to fight for many things. Like all the time when people saw the glitz and glamour, is because of we put up that face, you know, because we didn't want people to see what we go through. Whenever we wanted something, we always had to fight and push, because they'll say, Ish, the country's not ready for a gay group. The country's not ready for this and this, you know. So we were always like judged, you know, until we say, you know what, we are going to do this. And, you know, they will have no choice but, you know, to give us whatever that we wanted. So it's some of the things that people didn't know that we had to go through because of our sexuality. It was not easy.
One of the ways that, you know, you say you were described as a gay group, did you consider yourselves a gay group?
No, we are openly gay group, but that's what I always said to people, that music is music. Unfortunately, it is an open gay group, you know. There's no gay music, you know.
Yes.
And we always fought in terms of, we don't want to only get gigs at the LGBTI events, book us anywhere, you know. We are musicians. We are not just a gay band singing for gay people. No,
Yes.
you know.
You want to be
the only
everybody.
thing that we did was being open about our sexuality, you know. Yes.
In terms of your individual journeys, I mean, how did you manage whatever ups and downs are happening in your personal life with being a part of a group? Because you also have your own personal ambitions. And we've seen for many years there'll be individuals that want to go solo, for example, or maybe you're like, guys, I actually need to focus on this at home.
Okay. I'm glad you phrased that question. My solo career, Koyo and Jeff, I'm happy that they are now, you know, in the resting place, knowing that I was planning my solo, you know, career. And then there were a few gigs that I did and I invited them and they were always rooting for me. We rooted for each other.
Yes.
Like we were very supportive for each other. Like if Jeff would say, Chomi, you know, I feel like now I want to concentrate on styling. And we would give him full support. Chomi, what do you want us to help you with, you know? So that kind of a thing, because we knew that we were not only going to survive from one check, you know, and there's so much that you can do, you know, in the entertainment industry, you know. There are many opportunities, whether it be acting, MC gig, whatever appearance, use the opportunity and as an artist, be everything that you feel like you can be. Don't box yourself.
Yes. So over the years, I mean, we know how the industry works. You're popular one moment and then the popularity wanes a bit. Did you ever start to feel like the industry starting to forget you guys, or the industry is not caring as much about you, the public is not caring as much about you?
Yes.
When did you start to feel like that?
We were prepared. And hence I said that, you know, we're groomed and we're lucky because those things happened to Lebo and Brenda at some point. And we saw them and we were with them during those moments, you know. We know that sometimes you are there and sometimes it's about how you get up again, you know. So you must always revamp yourself. And also the entertainment industry, more especially media, when they feel like, you know, the sugar in you, they're going to use the sugar and they feel like sugarless and there's nothing to offer. Then there's the next victim, you know? And it's part of the game. That's how it is, you know? You must understand and move on, keep on moving on.
So when do you think that happened for the three of you in your career?
It was in 2010. 2010, now there was only negative publicity, you know? It was no longer the flamboyant, you know, pampamparas, threesome, you know, articles. It was about now trashing us on weekly basis, you know. But we were strong to understand how media works, you know. We'll always go out, you know, with that, you know, face, smiling face and energy, just to say, you know what, whatever that you can say, we are moving on, you know. Gigs were starting to be less. And we could see that, no, man, it's like Titanic now, you know. What can we do, you know?
What were some of the things that they would say about you that were untrue?
That I was running a brothel.
A brothel?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And about Jeff and Koyo, or the three of you as a collective?
That we don't like each other. We're just pretending, of which it was untrue.
And how did that make you feel?
Made us stronger. We're just laughing about it all the time. But pity for those who don't know, because, you know, media was selling, because at that time we were like, you know, we're selling papers, you know, but it didn't hit hard. But for our fans, it was like, guys, is it true that you really not like what we think you are, you know?
So the years go by. At some point, you know, Jeff becomes unwell. You guys were at a gig together. Talk us through that.
Oh, We stayed together for many years, and then I think God sometimes prepare you for certain things. And 2 years before Jeff got sick, he had already moved to Spruit. He was staying there. And then we were only meeting when we've got gigs, And then...
And at the time, were you still living with Koyo? Or everyone
No, I was
living?
staying on my own.
Okay,
And
everyone
he
was on their own.
Koyo was staying with Ephraim most of the time.
Yes.
And then, so Jeff complained a lot about his, his tummy. It's like he's got a gastric something acid or, And because you don't see a person all the time. So when he came, I could see that, no, man, this is not the person I know. This is not my friend, He has changed a lot. But because of the love of what we had, and also we needed to pay rent. So I remember there was a gig in Polokwane in 2010, the Fen Parks. And, performing, but I could see that he was struggling on stage. But lucky enough, because, you must always prepare yourself. I had this backup dancers just to give, the group a supportive, system on stage, because I could see that Koyo and Jeff were not well at the same time, And, performing with them in that position, I needed to be strong, to protect both of them on stage. But people can see, it was the hardest thing ever in my life.
So what happened the following day after that gig?
It was, I think, 2 weeks after he went home now because he was starting to get worse. And then I was at a studio.
And
Rustenburg.
Rustenburg.
Yeah. And then I was at a studio, continuing with my solo recording. Then I got a call that Jeff is no more. Oh, I felt like it's mokotibule. And, when you've had plans, with, people that you grew up with, we had so much planned together. And I felt like, God, you are robbing me one rope, And, it hit me so hard. It's a pain that will never go away, I'm still grieving them even today.
And no phone that told you the news?
Ke founetse ke ausi wa gae.
Yeah. And I'm sure that hit you so hard because you were just with that person, even though you saw they're not well.
Yeah,
It's
you were
still a
thinking,
shock.
oh, they went home and he'll come back, Ale sharp. I didn't expect that.
What was the last conversation the two of you had?
Chomi, how are you feeling? It's like a sharp. Okay, right. Yeah, because we're always talking on the phone. So I'm happy, Zala, that you are recovering. I can't wait to see you.
And then what happened with Koyo? Those last days between the two of you.
We're coming from the Metro Awards. Koyo then moved back home to Cape Town. So he came for the Metros and then he stayed with me in Mamelodi. And then he felt like, Chomi, I need to go to Joburg and see Ephraim because from here I have to go back to Cape Town. How? The next thing, Utamile like 3 days to visit Ephraim, coming from the Metros. The next thing, Kikra call from Ephraim, Amstel, Koyo is not well. What is happening? I'm coming right now to take his bags. Koyo must go to Cape Town today. When Koyo came to the house, he couldn't even walk. I was like, God, what is happening? So that picture is still in my mind and it's not what I wanted to see. We made a few phone calls to arrange for his flight. And then we also contacted Lerato because then Lerato was working she was a flight attendant. So we didn't know that.
This being Lerato Khanyo. Yes.
So Lerato, we didn't know of certain services. Okay, you can request for a special take care, They can take him with a wheelchair until those kind of services. So it makes things easy. The same night, Koyo passed on.
So he passed away before getting on the flight?
No.
As in he got on the flight?
He got on the flight. The sisters picked him up at the airport. They took him straight to the hospital. The same night, Koyo passed on. I received a call in the morning from Ephraim that Amstel, Koyo is no more. I was like, oh no.
Sure.
This can't be happening.
And what was your understanding as to what happened?
Koyo had cancer. Yeah, and he was very verbal about it on social media. And he was going through treatments and stuff like that, you know. So I think when it's time, because at the metros he was bubbly. It's like when people looked at him, he didn't have any signs of anyone that, had cancer. Like his passing came as a shock to so many because he was so happy at the metros. He even went out more partying than me. I was always in the room, you know. And I guess when it's time, it's time.
There was a period after Jeff had passed away where now Threesome was no longer the three of you. What had you decided would be of the group when it was you and Goyo?
We were always encouraging each other that, life must go on. We can still do it, And we had few gigs really too, but just to vroshka up the performance, the same backup dancers, I'll use them so that, the stage gets full.
But did obviously the performances never felt the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were never the same.
So what did it mean for you when Goyo passed on, and it's not just a band member, it's your other best friend? What did it mean for you just in terms of, because a part of your identity is attached to two other people who are no longer? Yes.
Even today, it's like I'm dreaming. It's like this can be true, But I had to accept, because acceptance was a healing process to me, And there's so many things that reminds me of them all the time. Lucky I have portfolio of all the newspaper articles, this music, that I can still hear the voices. And I remember each and every moment when we were recording those songs. So the memories are still here, It was a great loss.
How would you like for Jeff to be remembered?
He was a happy soul, very friendly, always laughing. He had a beautiful smile, and he knew that was, killer point. When you say Jeff, he will start smiling. So there was this smile that everybody knew about Jeff. Like when they will see Jeff, they will just give him that smile and he will smile back. He had beautiful teeth as well.
And Goyo, how would you like to
fly, pamparas, over the top, Goyo, a people's person. Yeah, he was a go-getter, Goyo. Yeah, Goyo, if he wanted something, he'll go straight and get it. Nasa chika chik.
So now you've started pursuing your solo career.
Yes.
And what has that journey been like for you? Because you're used to collaborating with two other people.
Yes. I always say, I think the Threesome experience was like a rehearsal of everything that is happening to me, And whenever I jump on stage, I invite that energy. Because my opening song is Vulindlela from Threesome. So they're always with me on stage. Yes.
What of theirs would you say you carry with you?
Both, and just be a people's person, just be genuine. They were very authentic, and honestly so, That's the spirit that made us connect. So I am moving with that, respecting anyone.
How have you been able to, because obviously there's ups and downs in this industry. Sometimes, like you said, you're high up there. Sometimes you're not high up, you're a little bit low. How have you been coping, when gigs got few and far in between, when the industry was showing you flames? How did you survive, be it financially, emotionally, all of it?
My family structure is very amazing. My mother and my two siblings, very supportive. You know, we support each other. Like, I'll make that call, Mama, you know, I'm short of rent money. And immediately, you know, I'm sorted. Sometimes, you know, when you feel like I want to be independent and sometimes I don't want to be a burden. I want to do things for myself. But there comes a point in time where you must swallow that pride and, you know, ask, you know. So, and the best thing to do is family, more especially when you've got a supportive family. Because with the industry friends, everything is fake. You know?
Is that what you realized at some point?
Yes, I've realized.
What was the moment that you realized, Horio, this industry and some of the people in it can be very fake?
After losing Jeff, because, you know, the gigs and most of the things, you know, started going down. And you can see that now I'm getting less calls. There's no longer, you know, group of people in my house. Not that I wanted to have a group of people. I needed time to myself, but you can see that things are changing, you know? And I realized that, you know, when days are tougher, there are few friends, you know? And that's how it is.
What did it mean for you to, you know, move back with family and be around family? Because Josie can be rough.
It can be rough. With family is love, you know, honesty, and they just want the best for you, you know, and they will be honest with you. If Babona Hormonkare, you are out of line, they will be honest with you, you know. So family is everything, and I'm grateful that I've got my mother and my two sisters and the, you know, the Maboas, who are always supportive of everything that I do. And not only me, we support each other as a family.
So where to from here for you?
I'm moving on. You know, yes. New music. I'm into catering and decor business. It's a family business. And I'm happy that I'm doing that. Yeah.
What is the final thing you'd like to share with viewers watching at home that maybe they don't know about you, or an important lesson that you want to share with them?
Okay. The flamboyant Amstel that you see out there, I'm also very spiritual. I love my space. Most of the time I spend it in my room, you know, whether it be watching a movie or reading something. And I don't go out if my energy is not okay. I only go out when I feel like, you know, the Vrushka in me is there, and that's exactly what you're going to receive. And all I can say to the viewers out there, love yourself, respect yourself, and live life to the fullest.
Oh, thank you so much for coming to share. And I think what you're saying about energy, I really can feel a difference in your energy. You are vibrating at high levels that of feel-good vibes, and I'm completely feeling it. And, you know, we will always remember the three of you as Threesome together, and for the amazing things you did for the community. But we'll also never forget Jeff and Goyo and continue to miss them, and they live in our hearts forever.
Thank you.
Hashtag Unpacked with Relebogile. What did I tell you? If you did not know Threesome today, you now know them. Amazing souls, an amazing group, and they really made a mark in the South African music industry, but also they did something for the culture. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night. Next time on Unpacked, what did you see that made it appealing to you?
People were posting this and that, different stuff, and then I was like, wow, I want to be that.
I just told them I want a natural looking silhouette. I don't want anything out of the ordinary.
I want a white skin tone. I love what I am, and then I'm still black.
I love my body. I love my body so much. I wouldn't change it for anything, but I'll never go back.
Thank you so much for watching Unpacked with Relebogile Mabotja. Make sure you subscribe to my channel where you can get to watch more episodes. But more importantly, you can be part of our online community. Comment down below, share with us who you'd like to see on the show, what story you'd like us to discuss. We love engaging with you. Keep it coming and don't forget to subscribe.